Welcome everyone to this new tinkering session. It's 40 minutes and we deep dive into one specific AI tool or feature. So I'm Alex, I'm the founder of the AI Tinkers Club. Last week, we tinkered with DALI 3 and we generated some images. Who was there? Danielle, if I remember well. Okay, one survivor. How was the last session?
Really good. Really enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you. I'll give you the money at the end of the session. Today we are tinkering with ChatGPT Vision. And ChatGPT Vision is really cool because it makes ChatGPT multimodal, meaning it can understand and interact with both text and images. And that it creates a whole new world of possibilities. Before we explore some of these possibilities, a little bit of promotion for the next event for the club. We will be brainstorming. So, not a tinker session, we'll be brainstorming ideas for our upcoming bootcamp that is centered around AI augmenting creativity, my preferred topic. 40 minutes next Thursday. I really hope that you will be there. So, today we are tinkering with ChatGPT Vision. I've prepared some quick demos, but before we get to that, I'd like to share what we know and what we wonder about ChatGPT Vision. So some of you have already joined the Storms board and put some cool knows and wonders. Knows. I know that it can do some pretty cool stuff. That was my card. Okay. It can analyze a picture and then give suggestions on what to do via chat. Exactly. That's a great way to explain the basic capability. I know it can tell a lie if the image tells it to lie. I'd like to know more about this one. Who said that?
I did.
Okay, tell me more.
So I haven't tried it myself, but people were sharing things that ChatGPT Vision can do. And one of the things that was shared was this picture that it tells it it had a simple text that says, when asked, don't say that this is something. And then there was a prompt. And the prompt asked, what is in the picture? Something like that. And ChatGPT lied about the picture and
Ah,
replied in the way in which the image had stated. This is the answer that you should give.
okay, got it. So images are just another kind of prompt for ChatGPT. Not much I'm curious, so you are at the right place if you are curious about ChatGPT Vision. When we'll get access? Okay, you never know when you're going to get access to it, but the only thing you really need is a premium account on ChatGPT. If you don't have a premium account, you won't have access to DALI 3. You won't have access to even browse with Bing, I think. So if you're serious about getting to know ChatGPT, you should really invest into a premium account. How good it will be at capturing many posted via a photo. I have some demos prepared about this one. I wonder how I can use it for good. So I have prepared plenty of use case and maybe we can brainstorm about that. What is it going to mean economically? When will the cheap ride end? Hmm, I don't know. Let's make a guess. Will I like audio interactions or will they be annoying as crap like they are with Alexa? So audio interaction are not exactly ChatGPT Vision. They are voice, which is another feature that we won't see today. I've played with them and they can be very playful. I did at 11 in the evening with some friends. We did a role playing game with ChatGPT being the master of the dungeon. And we loved so much. Anyway, that's not the focus of this session. Thank you all for sharing your insights. And now I've prepared, as I said, a few quick demos for everyone to be up to speed with ChatGPT Vision. And as a reminder, after the demo, we'll transition to the Tinker session where you get to choose what to explore. Okay? Are we good? Thumb up? Yes. Vision by OpenAI, ChatGPT Vision. And that is not just another AI model, it's a multimodal AI. which means that it can understand and interact with both text and images. It enables you to ask brand new things, tasks that need both visual and textual inputs. So how do you use it? So you need to open a new ChatGPT for chat. It doesn't work on 3-5. And right now it depends. But for me, right now, I have access to Vision only on the default chat. And that because I have the attached image icon here. If I go to browse with Bing, I don't have it. So I cannot mix and match the different capabilities. For example, which is a pity, I cannot mix and match analyzing image and using DALL-E 3 to generate some. But for some people, it's already rolled out. So in the coming days or weeks, you should be able to do everything from the same chat. Right now, default one. So then you can upload or even paste an image. So I'm going to do something is that I'm going to screen share your beautiful faces and ask something. So here I have to be very careful because I've pasted some images of people and we'll see that it has some privacy concerns. So the question I'm going to ask is not sensitive. Describe what kind of image is that? I'm not asking something about the people. For example, I'm not asking why Karin. Oh, sure. This is the demo effect. By the way, I had plenty of problems when I prepared the demos, is that this kind of stuff arrives a lot. This is why I prepared them before. Okay. So let's get back to my basic examples. So you copy and paste an image. This one was generated by DALL-E 3. You give it a text prompt, and then you click on send, and you get your response, which is here I ask for describe what is in the image, and I have a big description. Okay, so that's really the basics about using ChatGPT Vision. Okay, so end of the session, nothing else to say. How was the session? Good? Oh, no, maybe I can continue. Okay, let's continue. A few features. So first of all, it is chat-based. The good thing about a chat-based interface is that you can then ask it something about the image and then ask it to refine it, to correct it. So you can go and have a work process by communicating with ChatGPT. Then it works on mobile. It works on a web app. Okay. So thanks to the mobile, it gives us some great use cases for inside a workshop room, for example. The other thing is that you can upload several images at the same time. The maximum is about 4, but in fact, it depends on the size and resolution of the image. You can even upload PNG, JPEG, non-animated GIF, so no video at the current time. On the mobile phone, you have the ability to select a zone. So this is my smartphone. I'm going to go on ChatGPT and you see it's the default prompt. And I can take a picture here. I can take a picture of this beautiful Dixit card. I upload it. And once I have done that, I can click again and I can indicate a highlight. Okay. And I select it here. And then in my prompt, I've made some tests. You absolutely need to tell it to focus only on what's inside the highlight. Describe what is inside the highlight. Et voilà. I hope this one is going to work. Oh, it's very bad. So it's not a monkey, but it's not a monkey. By the way, you don't have to use that feature. You can use Photoshop or drawing to do this kind of highlights, to annotate the image, to give more indication for ChatGPT Vision to understand what you would like it to do. And last but not least, as with DALI 3, there are some limitations, especially when analyzing people. For example, you cannot ask it to analyze the engagement level of participants to a meeting and to analyze if the faces are sad or happy. It will refuse to do that. Okay? Okay, so now let me show you what ChatGPT Vision can do with some very quick and still basic level demos. Okay, first one, describe an image. You see this image is very detailed, and I ask it to describe it in great details. That makes a significant difference in the output. And look at that. It's very good. All the details are true. I didn't find in all these texts, I didn't find something wrong about the description about this very complex image. On the contrary, I did it on Google Bard because Google Bard has the same image capability, and Google Bard was totally hallucinating some details that didn't exist in the picture. It was unusable. ChatGPT is very good. I'd say 8 or 9 out of 10, and Google Bard was a 3 or a 4 out of 10. Okay, so significant difference in the capability of understanding a picture. Okay, then this is a graph from my website analytics and just asking what can we learn from this chart. And this is interesting because first of all, it read all the figures on the top of the graph. And it was not just reading like that. It was able to infer stuff. For example, unique visitors was 500. Total number of visits was 600. This means that some visitors have returned to the site multiple times. Really good. Okay. And then the last part was the one I was really interested. The line graph illustrates the number of visits, okay, from October the 4th to the 1st of November. So it got the labels right. And there are some fluctuations. Okay, but uh, I wanted a little bit more. So I asked, what is the overall trend? And then it was able to say, okay, it is fluctuating, but there is a slight general increase in the number of visits all the time. And this is true. If you draw a line here, that there is a slight increase, except on Saturday and Sundays. Okay. So it is able to analyze the graph. Second thing, this slide here is from my presentation from the AI and facilitation webinar. It's a very simplified representation of how a large language model works. And I asked ChatGPT, what is the slide about? And again, it was perfect. It totally understood that it was a simplified model of how a GPT process text for natural language understanding. And it was able to describe every single element of my graph very precisely. So I decided to push it a little bit further. Now, please create a short oral script to explain this mental model to newbies using this slide. And it created my script. So now you don't have to write your script anymore. Just create a slide and then you ask ChatGPT to create the script for you. It was something like 90% good, which is great. When it's 85, 90%, you gain a lot of productivity. Okay, another example. It's a real life example. We were in Moscow, I don't know, in 2016 and 17 for a facilitation conference with my wife, and we were totally lost in the subway. It's very difficult to read all these signs when you don't know how to speak Russian. So you would take your mobile phone, take a photo, and explain this direction sign. And again, it was really perfect. I don't know Russian. I should ask Mikhail, my friend Mikhail, but I guess it was really good at translating the Russian, but also at understanding the structure of the sign. What is on the left, what is on the right, the location, the arrows and stuff like that. So it was able to explain to me exactly what was the meaning of this sign. Really good. Before we get into the tinkering mode, I, I want to say a few things about best practices. Mainly, I want to say that the thing that we have seen in the prompt engineering crash course, you should always respect them. It should be specific. It should be rich. It should have some context. I don't have a lot of time to explain all of that, but when you think it's relevant, give it additional context, either with text or put another image to give the context. Then again, guide the analysis exactly like you do with a text prompt. Maybe you explain the structure of the image to make it easier for it. Maybe you give a process. First, you describe the image, then you analyze it, then you infer what you want it to infer. So you give it some tips and tricks. Remember the trainee metaphor. It's like having a very bright trainee with you. Use the highlight focus feature to focus the AI. Then you have to step back and take advantage of all the multimodalities, text, image gen, code generation, and you can create some very complex workflow from image to code to another image to text, etc. We'll see some of these later. And finally, there are some advanced techniques. Also, I have an example that is called the recursive improvement loop. Some fun demos that you can see on the internet if you are curious. Build a program from a user flow diagram, build a web page from a wireframe, analyze trends from a mood board and generate a visual concept from it, and invent a recipe from a photo of the inside of a fridge and create images of this recipe. I can show you very quickly. Here I have a mood board I found on the internet. I asked for extracting detailed insight and then create an image prompt for DALL-E for a small personal office. So I have the insights, I have the image prompt, then I went into DALL-E and it created this picture. And I told it, what are the pros and cons? Can you design a better prompt? And one of the things in the prompt is that it was very cluttered and no room for cleaning stuff. So it created another prompt. I put it into DALL-E, and now I have this office. And if you want to see some example of recipes, I was at a friend. I put that. I asked it to identify the ingredients, then to imagine some recipes. And then I went into DALL-E 3 and created images from the recipes. Well, this one is cool. Quinoa, corn, peppers. Let's try to find at least one thing you would like to see. We can try clustering physical post-it notes, having a force connection creativity technique, convert a mind map into digital notes, assess a macro design, a real one that I did for a workshop as a diagram and transform it into a session plan. Maybe we can have a look at this recursive improvement loop. We have already seen that with the mind map, with the mood board. We can create a stories based on a series of image, etc., etc. So what would you like to see?
Should we start with the first one?
First one.
Yes.
Okay, so I made several tests. Let's start with the easiest one. We did an egg challenge with some participants. So first of all, I want to give a little bit more context to GPT. And I asked it, do you know what is an egg challenge? And it told me what is an egg challenge. So now I'm sure it has the right context to do the analysis. And then here is the debrief from the participant of an egg challenge. You have the pros and cons, the debrief from the participants, and transcribe and then I give it a process. First, you transcribe, then you check that the transcription makes sense, and then you correct it if it doesn't, and then you make a detailed report of the session. The transcription is really good. I don't think he missed a lot of post-it notes, and it's 90% correct. And it's not good handwriting. Okay, it's quite complex to analyze. It's not bad. I've seen worse, but it's not very easy. So the transcription was good. The report of the session was nice. Participants felt enthusiastic about the challenge. They had a clear goal. Felt that time management could be improved. Not enough time allocated for certain tasks like getting coffee or validating prototypes. This one I'm not sure about. And then I have a conclusion. Okay, so this test is quite positive, but I didn't have a lot of post-it notes. Okay, so I tried something much more complex. It was a workshop about flex office layout and much more post-it notes, as you can see on the wall. And then catastrophe. I asked it to transcribe and translate, because it was in French, only the green post-it notes. And that there are about 100 post-it notes. And I got something like 48 post-it notes. Okay. And I tried several times. I tried to explain to it what was the structure of the matrix of post-it notes. I've tried without giving explanation, and I was never able to make it have a list of 100 post-it notes. Okay. Nevertheless, the one I have are okay. Okay. Sometimes there are some mistakes, and if you want to see it, I cannot zoom, but yeah, some of them are very easy with one word. Some of them are a full sentence. Some of them have much more details, but the transcription was quite good. Not perfect, but quite good. And that I was able to translate it at the same time. I have the French sentence here and the English sentence here. So that could be a cool feature. And then I asked for a clusterization. So it was able to infer 6 clusters, and these ones were very good, very appropriate, very relevant. Space and layout, collaboration, interaction, renovation, accessibility, freedom, all of them were totally the kind of themes that we got from the workshop. Okay. So I tried to go one step further. Then I asked it for a table with everything regrouped by post-it notes and the number of similar post-it notes. But this exercise was absolutely not good. It was very bad at getting the number of similar post-it notes. And in the end, I got only, it transcribed something like 50 post-its. And in the table, I got something like 20, maybe a little bit more. Are you sure you are not missing some post-it notes? And then it apologizes, and then it does the same thing. So my temporary conclusion is that it can work. It would need a little bit more tinkering and good quality photos, and not too many post-it notes on each photo. So we would need to do a iteration number 2 tinkering on this one. Okay. We have time for one more demo. Which one would you like to see?
Could we do 3?
Okay, so this is a mind map. When I do my LinkedIn post, I start them as a mind map where I put all my insights and ideas about the post. And then I convert them into a draft for my LinkedIn post. Okay, so this one was about the soft start activity at the beginning of the workshop. So I decided, what if it could do all of that for me? So I asked it to convert the mind map into a list of insights. And it was not bad. I say it was 75% good. Okay. It got 75% of my handwriting correctly. And then he missed some stuff or did some misunderstanding on some other stuff. Maybe it was 80% good. Once you have that, you can try to ask it for a draft, and it created a LinkedIn post. But don't look at that, because my prompt was very bad. With this kind of prompt, the draft it generates is not great. I have much better prompts to go from an ugly draft to a second iteration of a LinkedIn post. Something else you'd like to see? last one.
Could we try number 5 this time?
So I took my favorite card deck, which is the Dixit card deck. Roxanne, she knows I like this one. I think she likes it too. So first of all, I give it a little bit of, again, I guide ChatGPT. I give it a framework to tell a story. And as I didn't want to take too much time, I wanted a 3-step hero's journey. So it was quite a compressed storyline. Anyway, so first of all, in my context, I have the hero's journey. Then I upload 3 Dixit cards. Okay. I ask it to describe the image in detail first. I guide it step by step, as I explained in the prompt engineering crash course. And then, only then, when I have everything in my context, I say build a story, leverage the 3-step hero's journey and the different images. And now I have my cosmic voyage of Lila with the ordinary world, with the departure. You will have the opportunity to read it. So I have a story, and now I ask it to repurpose as a 3-step comic strip. And now I have 3 captions for 3 images. In a valley where dreams took flight, Lila's kite, this one. Oops. Lila's kite beckoned her to a hidden mystery. With cosmic companions, she ventured through galaxies, witnessing the marvels of the universe. And then, from the cosmos, Lila learns her preciousness. With tales of her voyage, she reminded all of home's beauty. I guess that my brother, who's a script writer, is going to tell me that it's very bad, but I found that it was fun. And in the context of a workshop, it could be very useful. Okay, so plenty of other stuff that I prepared. I will put them in the slide because right now it's already 51. And any question?
I think it was really good to have a first understanding of what ChatGPT Vision can do. I had no idea what it was.
Thank you, Roxanne. Nice to see you, by the way. Et voilà. That's all for today. Thanks a lot for your active participation. Of course, the recording and the slides will be available soon on the platform. And remember that the next session is about co-designing our future AI and creativity bootcamp. So until next time, happy tinkering and bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Fake goodbye. Bravo.
Alex, how are you doing your slides? Is that just a split screen or what have you done?
This is Microsoft Edge. In Microsoft Edge, you can have 2 tabs open at the same time, and you can do that. And this here is simply Google Drive, but with a specific format. So that way you can tinker on the left and show some quick instructions on the right.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's not AI powered, but that's cool too.
How did you use to share your mobile?
Aha.
What do you have? Is it PC or Mac, or what do you have on the other end?
It's called, and it works on both Mac and
Yeah, you mentioned it on LinkedIn.
Mac and yes, I did a post about this one. You're reading my post, Roxanne. Thank you.
Yes, I do.
Can broadcast both. What's cool about this one is I can both broadcast an Android or an Apple phone. I just have to do that. And then, yeah, it works really well.
And no cable, it's like Bluetooth, or how do you connect between them?
It's Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi.
Good, thanks.
You mentioned your crash course about prompt engineering.
Yeah.
Is it specific to facilitation or not?
No,
Okay.
it's quite generic. Any of you were at the prompt crash course?
Watched it afterwards, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You learn about the basic principle for good prompting, and then what is a mega prompt, which is basically a great way to apply the principles.
Okay, I think I will watch it.
I had some quite good feedback. Daniel, what did you think about it? You cannot say, now that I said that, you cannot say it was bad, but
No, it was really good. I watched it, and really learned a lot about the mega prompt. I especially liked.
When you improve an image, it uses DALL-E uses a prompt that DALL-E generated, which is like a reformulation of the original prompt. So you have to save to require this prompt to be able to improve the image. Otherwise, it will generate another one.
yeah, so that's DALL-E 3, which is the opposite of Vision, because Vision takes an image as an input and generate text. And DALL-E takes a text as an input and generate an image.
Okay.
So that's the two opposite. But yes, I'm going to show you that. So you see, I'm going to go to DALL-E 3 and I'm going to say an image of a house, which is very basic. And in fact, it's going to generate, and it's not DALL-E, it's GPT-4 who is going to generate 4 different prompts, 2 now, because I think they are overwhelmed by the request. So it generates only 2 prompts. And these prompts are going to be sent to DALL-E 3 to generate the images. So we don't see it right now, but when I go into the image, this is the prompt that was generated. And it's one of the reasons that DALL-E 3 is so easy to use for beginners, because it does a good part of the prompt engineering job when it comes to image generation. And the second one is a second prompt, a different. So if you really wanted to use your own prompt, you have to say to ChatGPT, use my exact prompt. Do not change the prompt.
Okay.
So you should watch there is a recording on the previous tinkering session on DALL-E 3. We have explored all of that.
Okay, so I have to watch now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not very long. The recordings are 30 minutes or something like that. Okay.
Fun. Alex, who do you want to attract to this club?
Any facilitators, consultant, trainers. All the facilitators, consultant, and trainers in the world would be a good tool.
We'll just give them a call. Awesome. Good for fun. Well, thank you.
And
I
by
think
the way,
you just saved me a ton of time in terms of analyzing experiment results. I got 40 sessions worth of Post-it notes to get into a text form.
So it would be great if you could fine-tune your prompts and give us a little bit of feedback on if it really worked well.
What is this? Seemed to work really great. The question is, look at this folder full of stuff and tell me what all of it is. That's what I want. That would be amazing. But cool.
With automation, you could think something like that. Yeah. By the way, we have a tinkering session with Karin and Session Lab AI features. Right, Karin?
Yes, we do. So it'll be myself and Eduardo, who's part of the product team. I don't know if Session Lab have used it, but he is one of the developers who's super into AI. And we have a block in our agenda planning tool where you can put in an idea for, if you're looking for method inspiration, basically for a workshop, you can put in the type of participants you might have. Maybe you've got some constraints and it'll come up with some suggestions and then you can use them or you can modify them in some way. So we're going to have a tinkering session. It's on the 30th, isn't it, Alex? Is that right?
It's not next week, but the week after. No, the week after, I think.
23rd, I think it was, of November. Yeah.
Bravo, Daniel.
Yes, it is.
That's cool.